Hello, yous of the tubes. Yes, I am wearing my Breaking Bad t-shirt. Okay, this video, it came about a few months ago. I was watching another YouTube channel, and they were discussing wilderness survival and this awesome wilderness survival kit that was available. And I'm not gonna lie, had it been a year or so ago, I'd have probably went right over and, I bought this thing. But I was thinking, I can make that. I could do my own. And that's what this little series is about. And you're probably saying, well, why am I gonna sit down and watch a video of some woman telling me how not to survive in the wilderness? Is she crazy? Does she want me to not ever get out of the wilderness, or what's going on? Absolutely not. I most certainly want you to thrive and survive when you're out, and that's why I'm doing this video. Now, let me just say I am no expert. By far, no. Nothing like that. It's just my take and my thoughts of years of watching these survival shows on TV and reading books, but mostly from watching YouTube. We've all watched Bear Grylls drink his own urine and clean out a dead camel and use it as a shelter. We've all watched Dual Survival with all of its stars on there. But, a few years back, it was just shows like Bear Grylls that were on and Survivor Man, which, in my opinion, is probably one of the realest survival shows that was on at that time. It was just Les, his camera, and whatever he had with him. And I learned a lot from watching his shows. I'm not putting Bear Grylls down or anything like that. I mean, he did some crazy stuff that I would never even attempt. And that's what I kind of want to talk about, is all of these new reality shows now where you have people surviving alone by themselves on an uninhabited island, Vancouver Island. They may be miles apart, but there's no way they can get to one another. You now have survival shows about families. The Last Alaskans. You have Alaska, the Last Frontier. You have Alaskan Bush People. All of a sudden, it's just this big, don't forget Naked and Afraid. But you have this whole flurry of TV shows that are, I don't want to say they're hurting more than they're helping. It's just that it's not feasible for most of us. Let me put it that way. So the whole thing is how not to survive in the wilderness is to prepare yourself. Don't make it so you get out there and all of a sudden it turns into, oh my God, something's happened. Now what am I going to do? First and foremost, we all have that one tool that is the most important tool you can have in your kit or on your person, however you want to put it. It's invaluable and it's priceless. And it's this little cranium right here, your brain. It's okay to get into this type of craft. I mean, you can practice in your yard. You can, make your own stuff. You can do all that. You can learn from others. That's how I learned. But I'm not going to take it to extremes without first filling this with the skill sets that I need. Having the right gear helps. Not saying you have to have high-end, most expensive, but have the right gear for your skill set and your area. Now, going back to some of these shows, Dual Survival, I don't know. I like Dave Canterbury, I like Cody Lundin, but there was an episode that kind of bothered me, is where Dave purposely cuts himself and he has Cody put gunpowder in there and then they light it on fire. All well and good in a dire situation. You have naive people that watch these shows that really want to get into the craft, you know, want to be a survivalist or a bushcrafter or whatever. And they're naive enough to try these things. And that's what's upsetting me the most. I'm not saying people are going around doing it or, you know, being crazy or anything, but I have watched some YouTube videos that people got in trouble. They actually got in trouble because they weren't prepared. Either they had the gear and they didn't know how to use it, or they didn't have enough gear and they weren't prepared. All right, so let's get off the topic of survival shows, because I'm pretty sure that my audience, my community, doesn't live by them. So with that said, the mind. Take me, for example. I have all this land here. I go out and I practice my skills. I put up shelters. I build shelters. And am I in danger? Yeah. I could have a tree fall on me. I could get my leg pinned. I could get bit by a venomous snake or some other type of animal or insect or whatever. So even when I'm going out in my backwoods here, I go prepared. I always have my cell phone. I have a whistle. I have a first aid kit and a big mouth. Has it ever happened to me? No. I've never been in an actual survival situation. I was to be there, sorry. Other than being in the military. That was as close as I ever came. But when you go out, be prepared. Know where you're going and what you're going to be doing. First and foremost, get a map of the area. Tell someone at home where you're going, what time you're leaving, when you expect to arrive at your destination, and call if you can, from your destination, and leave a map behind with a family member with some type of coordinates at where you're going to be. Second of all, take gear with you, even if it's a little extra, in case you need it. Now, I've seen YouTube videos where, you know, I have to admit, our egos get the best of it, and we come up with this brainiac idea. We're going to go out, regardless, you know, if you're living in Canada or if you're down south, and we're going to take it to extremes, and we're only going to survive with a knife and a wool blanket, and it's going to be 10 below, and it's going to be a blizzard, and, you know, or the opposite end, I'm going to go out in my woods, and it's going to be in the 90s, and I'm just going to take a bottle of water and my knife. It's all right, Ori, it's just a bird. So, okay, you can do that. You can practice those skills. But here's the thing. Load out a bag anyway. Take that bag with you. Leave it at a destination point and mark it so you know where it's at. So if you get in trouble, that bag is there. And if you're able to get out and get to that bag, you're going to be in good shape because it has the gear in it that you need and other necessary items. Always know where you're going. Always take a first aid kit. Just be aware of your surroundings. Now, a lot of people go out, you know, they're going to go hiking for the first time, and they pick a state forest, or they pick an area they've never been to. They get the maps, you know, they pack up their little bag and they're on their way. Now, before you know it, well, I didn't know how to read a map or use a compass. I thought I did because I watched a lot of YouTube videos, but I'm screwed because now I'm lost. As soon as you realize you're in trouble or lost, you stop. You attempt to try and calm yourself down and say, okay, take a deep breath, get a little bit of water in you, and if possible, you try to stay put. Moving just a few yards expands a search area by miles. So if you're in an area that is safe, you know, you're not in danger of, you know, you're not sitting next to a bear den, or, you know, you're not in an area that's going to flood or whatever, stay put. The only time that you would need to move, and I'm saying in a dire situation is near a water source, depending on how much water you have with you. But if you do move because of safety, or to go to a closer water source or a water source, leave telltale signs with arrows of stones or sticks to let someone know that you have moved in that direction. So they know you've moved for, whatever reason, they know where to go to look for you. Another thing, people think that when you go out in the woods, well, I've got my bright orange bandana, I'll be good. Well, that bright orange bandana isn't going to do you a lot of good if it's fall. If it's autumn, guess what color all the leaves are? Bright orange. Take a color like this, or a royal blue t-shirt, and just put it in your bag and forget it's there. Because blue doesn't blend in with nature. A lot of us have those $9, $10 Walmart tarps that are blue. I suggest getting one. You'll have an extra tarp, you'll have ground cover. But that color blue is not found in nature. And if somebody spots that from above, or gets on a pair of binoculars and can see that blue, they're going to like, oh, that doesn't belong there. Something must be going on. So that's just a few tips and ideas of mine, so you don't have to survive. It's hard, to teach this, and I'm not trying to teach you by any means. I had a good teacher, a best friend of mine. He lives over across the pond. That's Fog 360, bushcraft and outdoors. He doesn't even call himself an expert. I feel that he's an expert. He calls himself a specialist. And he has taught me and helped me so much. And I say it in a lot of my videos. But watch his channel. Fog 360, outdoors bushcraft specialist. I think it's something like that. I'll leave a link below to his channel. But really, sorry, my dogs are chasing squirrels. He knows his survival stuff, let me tell you. So check out his channel. You won't be disappointed. He has some really good content on there. And, throw some books in your pack when you're going to go. Books of plants in your area. And, just don't go picking stuff and eating it. You have to have guides as to what you can ingest and what you cannot ingest. So, I really wanted to do this series, and it all revolves around this. I'm not going to show you this in this video. This is going to have its own separate video. Chances are, will it stay as part of my kit? I don't know. Will the items stay in it? I don't know. I want your opinions. That's why I did this. After watching that video, I was like, great kit. If I had that kind of money, I'd buy it. But I have the gear. And I have the gear suited to me and my likes. And what's going to make me comfortable if I get lost. Hi, Ted. So, if you have any questions or, anything, please put them below. I'm really curious as to your thoughts on this. I'm sure in my rambling I left some stuff out, but it's meant for me to help you not to have to survive. That's why it's titled, How Not to Survive in the Wilderness. Just be prepared. Fill your mind with as much knowledge as you can. Plants, mushrooms, how to find water if you're not by a water source. And don't take it for granted, the stuff you see on TV. It is so not conducive to your survival, trust me. I watched a lot of videos. As a matter of fact, talking about high-end gear, I watched one guy, he had a series of, I think, like 3-hour videos of him out in the winter in below zero blizzard conditions with the best gear money can buy, and this man had no clue how to use it. He froze and broke his water filters. His shelter was a mess. I don't know how he survived, to be honest with you. So it's not about the gear. It's about your mindset, your skill set, and what to do and what not to do if you should get into trouble. Always have a whistle. Always have a knife. Have your cell phone. Even if you pick up one of those cheap power packs, throw it in your bag. It'll extend the life of your cell phone until you can reach someone or get a call out. I hope this helps. I don't mean to sit here and ramble at you. Like I said, I'm not teaching you anything. It's just my take on it, some of my opinions, and I hope it helps somebody. So the next video in the series, we're going to get into this. This is the Wilderness Survival Kit via snow fog. So thanks for watching. Hi, Ori. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. This dog just won't. So he always wants to make out with me.